Hello, welcome to Frag radio podcast that talks about showcasing veterans or just people in general doing good things in the veteran community. Today's guest, social media guru, content creator, author, movie star, Jack Mandaville. How's it going, Jack?
Good. I wouldn't call myself a movie star, though. I've been in one movie, so I'm more of a movie nova, maybe.
I don't know, man. It's more than everybody else has been in, or most other people.
That is true. Touche.
So, and I would count it as two because you have Range 15 and you have Not a War Story.
Yes.
Same movie, but not same movie.
Yes. So same people in it, but
Right.
Two different stories. One's a documentary. One's an actual movie. One's full of just funny little gags and fun little dumb stuff, and the other one's full of it's more of a serious narrative about making the movie.
Right. So, hey man, you started two of them. So your movie started me.
I got 2 IMDb credits under my belt. It makes me legit.
Absolutely. So why don't we start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and then kind of go into like what you're doing now.
Okay. My name is Jack Manford Madaville. I'm a Virgo. I was born in Los Angeles, California. My social security number is okay. Anyways, I'll keep going. I grew up in Minnesota, and then I joined the Marine Corps out of Minnesota, and then I was in the Marines for only 4 years, and then I got out of the Marine Corps, and I did all sorts of fun, odd jobs, and went to school, and then I ended up at a place called Ranger Up for 4 or 5 years, and now I'm here talking to you. That's the gist of my life story right there. It's 33 years, bro.
What'd you go to school for?
I was a history major at the University of Texas, San Antonio, and I didn't graduate. So let's just clarify that right now. I don't want to be education stolen valor. So I need to clarify I didn't graduate.
God, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So you went from history to working at Ranger Up. How'd that happen?
Oh, well, in between the school and all that, I worked in the oil field. I was a roustabout in the oil field, and I was writing, not making a lot of money, but I was writing, which was to this day has always been my real passion in life. And anything I'm doing now, all the dumb videos and getting to work for Ranger Up and making my way into a movie somehow, it all revolves around the fact that I've always considered myself a writer first, but while working in the oil field, making a lot of money, I took like a good 60% pay cut to go work for Ranger Up because that was the first opportunity I had to make a livable wage, getting to be creative for a living. And that was really important for me, and obviously it opened up a lot of doors.
Right. So now, when you worked for Ranger Up, though, you were creating content. Like, what was your official title there?
Well, my official title was pretty fancy. It was Associate Brand Manager, which sounds fancy, but that just means that I was the head meme maker there. I was the chief meme maker. Yeah.
So you were creating content for Ranger Up from oil fields to making content for Ranger Up.
Yes.
How did you? You're very successful at it too, and very good at it.
Thank you.
How did you go? Like, how did you actually learn to do it? Did it just come naturally, or?
Well, again, like, I know this sounds like so corny and cliche, but like anything I do in the creative arena, I always consider myself a writer first. So even as silly as it sounds, making memes, like, it's all about structure. It's all about having an idea, conceptualizing the idea, putting the idea down, making it happen, and sharing it. Like, it's the entire process. It's as simple as a meme, but that's the entire process. It's the same thing if you're writing a 10,000 word article or a 500 word blog, whatever. It's the same process every time. Making videos, whatever.
All right. So now I hear from a lot of people how easy it is, or how easy it would be to create a Facebook page and basically make it go viral. And just get a million followers overnight. So in your experience, there you go. In your experience, like how difficult is it? Like,
super difficult. in a lot of senses, if that's what your goal is to do, is to whether you're doing it, whether you're trying to monetize it, trying to sell a product, or you just want to just have a popular page, whatever your goal is, in a lot of ways, it has to be a perfect storm. And my experience at Ranger Up, there was a perfect storm element in the sense that when I showed up at Ranger Up, as far as Facebook goes, there was around 160, 70,000 followers at that time, which in 2013 was a lot. Like people, the whole era we live in now with all these military apparel or just military pages in general, like there's no shortage of popular pages. But at that time, to have over 150,000 followers was a big deal in 2012, 2013. But so I walked in, there was already a decent presence there, and Ranger Up was already ahead of the ball game on Facebook, and then we got into Instagram and everything like that. Ranger Up had a lot of advantages, like huge brand ambassadors like Tim Kennedy and recognizable names that could carry the brand through name recognition. But then at the end of the day, whatever I tell, social media best practices, they're important, and you should always be paying attention. But at the end of the day, content is king. It's about what you're putting out. It's for us, our approach was humor, so it's how funny your stuff is, how relevant it is to current events. It's all about being consistent with it. So it's not as easy as it sounds. Everyone thinks they're just going to blow up and be the next Ranger Up or Matt Best or Grunt Style or whatever. But it's not that. Like, you have to. It's work.
Yeah. No, and when you say content, we're talking about producing something that people like and that they will hit the like button, comment on it, and share the shit out of it.
Right.
To make it reach other people, and you want those other people to do the same thing.
Right. Right. And the comment section is the most important in the sense that, like, if people like something, they're going to like it or they're going to share it. The comment section is a great tool in the sense that if people hate what you're doing, they're still going to comment, and that's creating engagement, and that's not a bad thing. A lot of brands get worried about people talking negatively about what they're putting out or what they're doing. Like, no, that's a good thing. Let people say crappy things about you in the comments section. And if you have people that are loyal to your brand or what you're doing, they'll say something back, and it's just gonna keep, it's gonna keep that flow going, nice heavy flow.
Oh, that's awesome. So you did 5 years at Ranger Up. What made you leave Ranger Up?
Long story short, I fell in love. But the bigger story is, 5 years it's a long time at a company, and I went north, and at that point I was ready to go out and sow my oats on my own,
Right. I don't blame you. So what are you doing right now that you left Ranger Up?
So I'm still making memes. Is basically what I'm doing, and I'm still making dumb videos. I mean, no. So I have. I'm freelancing essentially, and I'm working. Can I name drop some brands here, buddy?
Absolutely.
All right. Strike Force Energy. Sean Masson of Strike Force Energy was the first person I sat down with post Ranger Up, and they're the first people that I got to start making content for outside of Ranger Up. And Ross Patterson, the director of Range 15, is the one that put me in contact with them. The second was Black Ops Grooming. They're located out of Idaho, and it's a high-end male grooming network. Another client that I have is called GCO Consulting, which they're not. They're a DC defense consulting brand, but they do a lot of charitable stuff. So I've gotten to get involved with them and make content related to their charitable endeavors. Their stuff's more PG, which has been a whole new venture for me, is making PG content.
I saw not too long ago you were trying to get rid of some, or doing like a raffle for Redskins tickets.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That was through GCO. For veterans, active duty military, or military spouses in who are Washington Redskins fans. So it's about to wrap up right now, but we are offering over 20 tickets to this event on August 30th in DC, where if you're a Redskins fan, you're going to meet every single player. You're going to meet a lot of alumni of the organization, coaches. You'll get to take pictures, get autographs with all of them, other VIP guests, and you'll get to just basically hang out with the team for the entire day. So pretty cool stuff. I'm from Minnesota, so I'm not naturally a Redskins fan, but now I do appreciate the Redskins.
Now you get to go meet them and all that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we were actually talking. You're up in New York right now, right?
Yeah, hanging out with my friends here at Task and Purpose.
Awesome. So do you do any content creation for them?
I do essays. I write for them. So I've since in the past few months, I've probably done 4 or 5 written pieces for them at Task and Purpose here. And Patrick Baker, who I worked with at Ranger Up, he works with them now. So I'm getting to hang out with an old friend here. He actually left. I'm alone in the office right now. I don't know how they left me here alone in their office.
Good times, man. They got to play with there or what?
No, just a brick wall here.
Oh, okay.
And the window. There's the window. You can see some of Manhattan right there.
So just want to put this out there. Anybody watching right now, go ahead. If you got any questions for myself or Jack, go ahead, leave them in the comments. I'll go ahead and put them on the screen. Anything you want to know about him. He said he's an open book, so ask away.
Yeah. I
So
gotta share this. Now, if I share this, is it going to be replayable?
yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to write, "I'm live!" exclamation point. Now here we go. Post. All right.
So you posted it now? You shared it?
I'm posting. I'm good. I'm bueno. I'm muy bueno.
See how many of your friends hop in now.
I posted it on my Jack Madaville page, which is more worthless than my personal page.
Well, Steve Fitzgerald says that I look like I'm sitting on a bed right now. Do I look like that?
Good. Yeah. Are you comfortable? That's all that matters.
I'm comfortable. I'm not in a bed, but I wish I was in a bed, but I'm not. I'm just sitting in a chair.
Yeah, I'm just sitting up here against a brick wall. I feel you, bro.
Yeah. So what did you do in the Marine Corps?
I was in 0313, which is the most bastard of the infantry MOSs in the Marine Corps. LAV crewman, so it'd be the equivalent if you were driving a Striker or something like that in the Army. So, I was an LAV crewman for 4 years, and I got to drive the little vehicle and shot the big gun sometimes, and sometimes I got to stand up top as a vehicle commander.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I felt very special.
So I'm assuming you were enlisted, correct?
I was very enlisted. I was super enlisted.
Cool. Nothing wrong with that. I was enlisted as well. All right. So I want to ask you about, not many people get to do this. Kind of talked about it briefly in the beginning. You got to make a movie, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. Range 15. I posted one of the things up here, and we got it going. One guy bought like 60 tickets.
Really?
Made it happen. Yeah, he was awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it happened up here. I got to go see it, and I loved it, man.
Thank you.
Upstairs. So
I'm saying thank you like I was like instrumental in the impact of the movie. Like, yes, I produced, wrote it. I was the lead star. Thank you for supporting my project.
Well, what was your?
At the end of the day, I was just the guy that like, hey, Jack, we're doing this movie. We're gonna get you involved. I'm like, oh, sweet, awesome, I'm in.
So, I mean, you were one of the main stars in it.
Yeah, ended up,
15 guys. You had Nick, Tim Kennedy. Like, you had some really big names in the veteran community. In that movie. You had Medal of Honor recipients in the movie.
2 Medal of Honor recipients, Leroy Petrie and Clint Romishaw. We had Marcus Luttrell, and one guy in the veteran community who is not technically in like the modern GWAT veteran community, but he is one of the most important veterans in Hollywood right now. Dale Dye was in it. And then, obviously the movie centered around Matt. The movie couldn't have been made without him, and Vincent Vargas, Jared Taylor, Nick Palmisano, and then Jack, the blow up doll guy.
So why don't you tell us, like, how was it? Like I've never made a movie. I've never been around making a movie. I'm sure a lot of people that are watching are gonna watch. They haven't either. So, like, why don't you just walk us through, like, what does it take to make a movie? Like, what was involved on your part? You know?
So I mean, oh my God, I mean, where do you start? I mean, if you want the full biography on it, you know, the script originally, the original script ended up in the hands of Vincent or Jared. I don't remember who specifically, but it was one of those two guys. Then ended up in the hands of Nick. Eventually, two companies got together. I remember I believe it was November of 2014 was when Matt, Vincent, and Jared came out to Raleigh-Durham, where Ranger Up was headquartered, and we sat together for the first time and read through the script for the first time all together. And then by March of 2015, like 6 months later or whatever, we were filming the IndieGoGo video. And by October of 2015, we were filming the movie. I can't even begin to start to tell you everything that it takes. You know, I was actually doing the Task and Purpose podcast earlier, and I was mentioning how, like, the casting process, one of those things that you take for granted as a moviegoer and someone who enjoys movies, like casting is one of the most difficult things we went through throughout this movie. From getting the big names to the lower level actors to even other people in the vet community. Not that there was any but it was just like, it's this entire process. Casting is a difficult bureaucratic process. So, like, one headache after another, which is, you know, even big studios have to go through these things. So you can only imagine what it's like as independent filmmakers to, you know, to go through this. And then, you know, on Ross's side, he signed on as our director, Ross Patterson, and having to coordinate getting everything, all the behind the scenes that it takes to make a movie, the makeup department, special effects makeup, regular makeup, hair, the grips, lighting, the art department, just everything. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, it's very much like a military operation where you have to have a lot of working components to make it possible. It's not just what the infantry is doing. There are, if 5% of the armed forces is the infantry that's leading the way, the other 95% are instrumental in making sure the infantry can do their job.
Right. So Steve wants to know, how did you guys cast? Or what were you actually, like, looking for or whatnot?
Well, I mean, we went through a normal. We had a casting director. That's their job, is to coordinate with agents and obviously deal with contracts. So for the big names, the Shatners, the Danny Trejos, the Keith Davids, the Sean Astons, it was very much a normal casting process. And you know, there were obviously smaller parts that were done by actors that, again, went through the normal casting process. For us, Matt, Nick, Jared, Rocco, myself, we were grandfathered into it. We were, part of the writing process from the very beginning, producers. So we were going to be in it regardless. None of us took a paycheck just for showing up. Mindy Robinson, whose boyfriend is Randy Couture. Randy Couture was in the movie. We went through the normal casting process with him, and Mindy. A lot of people probably assume, well, just because their boyfriend girlfriend, that there was some sort of hookup. No, we went through the normal channels just to get both of them. It just so happens they were dating. It's stuff like that.
Oh, very cool. So how long did it take you? Like, or let me step back a second. You said, Jared, Nick, all those guys, they had the script. Did they write the script, or did they get it and then kind of edit it up to how they wanted it?
So there was an original script, and then it got into the hands of Jared and Rocco, and from there, from what I understand, I lost count personally. I'm just based off what other people have said. Evidently, we went through 26 script revisions throughout the
Wow.
process, and yeah, I mean, it was a. We didn't finalize the script until like a week before we started shooting, which is normal from what I understand. But that script was constantly being worked on, shooting emails back and forth between the Art 15 and Ranger Up people, and then there were numerous times where, Nick and I flew out to El Paso one time. Those guys flew out to Durham. We'd lock ourselves in hotel room or in like hotel conference rooms for 48, 72 hours and just pound away at the script. And we did this over and over again, but still, like, it's such a process where no matter how many times you do it, we didn't have the final product until a week before we started shooting.
Wow, that's a lot. So how was it working with, like, I mean, we're normal dudes, all veterans.
We're bros.
Homies. But working with, like, these big celebrities, like, everybody knows who William Shatner is. You know? Like, how was it working with them? Like, we're not necessarily actors, and
right.
So, like, how was it working with them as professional actors?
So what's? I mean, I'm not going to speak for anybody else in the cast, and obviously Matt had the most interaction with Shatner work-wise, as far as the back and forth goes. But Shatner was our first day, and again, all of us. This was a huge thing in the making, so. We showed up really focused, and that first day, though, for me personally, was intimidating. Like this is it. This is everything we've been doing the past couple of years. Like, this is it. We got to know our lines. We're gonna get through this. We have a lot of scenes to shoot. So for me personally, like, it was awesome seeing William Shatner and being around William Shatner. I didn't really soak it in because I was just so focused on, like, I got these lines to do. Oh shit, I got this dialogue to do. Like, by the end of it, like, one of the last days was Danny Trejo, and I got to enjoy being around Danny Trejo because at that point I'm like, I'm a veteran actor now. I've been on a movie set for 13 days.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long? Like, I know you guys did an IndieGoGo campaign. Phenomenal for you guys because it's like crazy expensive to make a movie.
Yeah.
Even like a low budget movie is, millions of dollars.
Yeah. And we were at 1.5 mil, which sounds great if you just had 1.5 mil in your pocket. But to make a movie, to pay all those people, to do all the post-production and distributing stuff with $1.5 million it's not a lot of money.
Right. No, so you guys did that. How long did it take you guys to shoot the movie, start to finish?
Principal photography was 13 days. So I believe it was August or October 1st through October 13th or 14th. We had like one day off. And then there was some follow-up shoots, like little things, like the scene with Jared Taylor popping smoke with that A10 going over his head, which not only is the most beautiful scene in the movie, but if you compare it to like legit war movies, like Steven Spielberg stuff, like that is a beautiful, that 20-second scene, it was beautiful because it was just a small skeleton crew that drove out to the middle of the desert in Nevada there and spent an entire day filming that 20 seconds. So it's this beautiful shot. Okay. But that was like, little things that would happen afterwards, like the montage scene, like you see these weird close-ups and stuff like that. Like that was 4 or 5 months later. Like we were doing, just doing quick shots to get extra footage and stuff like that.
Well, that's cool. So 13 days to film it. And
principal photography. Yep.
How long to, post-production, do all the editing, finalize everything?
We wrapped filming obviously in mid-October. The trailer was out by January. We debuted it at SHOT Show, huge party. And then a week later, we were at Sundance, showing it at Sundance. And then we did the first initial screenings were in mid-May. We showed them to the troops in Fayetteville, North Carolina, outside of Fort Bragg, and then did it at Fort Hood. and the Los Angeles premiere was like June 1st, June 3rd of last year. And then it went into over 400 theaters, which is, again, for our budget, 400 theaters. Insane that we got into that many theaters on June 15th. And then it went on iTunes, Amazon, and all that stuff in mid-August of 2016. So we're about to hit the 1-year anniversary of the mass release.
Awesome. So now from Range 15, we got Not a War Story documentary out of it.
Yeah.
So any new filming there, or is it all filming from the Range 15 movie?
No, so there's no footage from the Range 15 movie. Tim O'Donnell and Alex Miller were two documentary filmmakers, and Tim was the lead cameraman and director, and Alex was the second or first AD, whatever they call it. They came on, and they were there from day one on set, filming everything we did. Like from the time we were waking up at 5:30 in the morning, when we were walking out to the van that took the cast over to the studio, wherever we were filming that day. Tim O'Donnell was there. Alex Miller were there with their cameras on, filming us from 6 a.m. until we got back at 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. or whatever was going on. He was filming everything we were doing. Like true documentary filmmakers, like they were flies on the wall. Like you almost forgot they were there. And Tim O'Donnell, I consider, and Alex Miller for that. I've known these guys both for 3-4 years. I love these guys. They're my friends, and I would forget that they were there because they had that ability to be right next to us and filming what we're doing, and us just not even realizing that these cameras are honed in on us. So God knows how much footage they shot, but that's what they pieced together for Not a War Story. And Not a War Story is not a silly, dick and balls B movie like Range 15 was. Not a War Story is a story within itself about how not just these 5 veterans got together and made these movies, but how the veteran LEO first responder community got together and made this movie. And it was truly this community effort.
Oh, that's awesome.
Was that a lot of grandstanding for a very simple question? I feel like I win. I feel like I got a little too West Pointy on that one.
No, you're all right. You're good.
All right.
So when is it? In fact, Jared's asking. I love to get my hand on a copy. When is it available? That was going to be my next question. When are we going to be able to see it?
Not a War Story. So to be honest with you, I am not as knowledgeable about the distribution with that. I don't know what legally I'm allowed to say, but there's a good chance you'll be able to see it on very popular mainstream streaming services.
Okay.
And we will be certainly announcing that when that comes to fruition.
Okay. So pretty soon, mainstream streaming. Can't wait. Can't wait for you guys to make the announcement. Definitely want to check it out. So,
yeah. And unlike Range 15, which I watched at least 20 times before I ever saw it in theaters, Not a War Story is fun to watch because, like, the first time I really got to see it was in the theater in LA. So I was like, oh, this is a whole new movie. Oh, thank God, because I cannot do Range 15 again.
Oh, that's funny. So now I kind of switched topics a little bit on you. I just saw on your Facebook, you were actually doing a baseball game up there in Yankee Stadium.
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
At their single A, they have a single A ball club on Staten Island. Yes, I was playing at the Staten Island Yankees.
What was that game for?
There's an organization called Hero Sports. My friend Mike Dixon hit me up and asked if I wanted to play on the celebrity team. And then when I looked at the roster on the celebrity team, it was all former professional athletes and randomly me, right? But the whole point was we were supposed to be playing the veteran team, which I'm more of a veteran than I am a celebrity. Right. And because a celebrity, when you walk down the street, you can't walk down the street without people recognizing you. No one bothers me because I'm nobody. I'm just a fat veteran with a beard. I'm like 99% of the veteran community. But so I played. So the first game was the veterans versus FDNY, and so I put on a uniform. They were short a man or two, so I put on the veteran uniform, and I played with the veterans versus the New York Fire Department, and they beat the shit out of us. And good for them though. They did 9/11, so you know they deserve that win. Right. And then the next was the celeb game versus the veterans. So I put on the celeb uniform, and we had professional baseball players, and I contributed nothing, but I felt good with the win because I was on the winning team, even though I didn't contribute anything. I popped out. Yeah.
Go ahead, chalk that up in the W column.
Right. Right.
Cool. So, talking about celebrities walking down the street, like you're pretty well known in the veteran community. How often do you get stopped? How often do people come up to you and like, hey, love what you're doing or whatever?
Well, if it's like like we were talking, we crossed paths at Police Week. If it's at Police Week, like it's our market. Like that's I'm gonna run into people that have seen Range 15 and they're like, hey Jack, what's up, man? Where's your blood doll? I'm like, she's not here. Right. Like obviously, because of Range 15, we throw parties and everything. So like people show up knowing you're going to be there. So that's, they're like, hey Jack, let's take pictures. Very rarely does it just happen on the street. Although I will say, when I first started dating my girlfriend, right. We were walking through the airport together, and some guy like jumped out of his seat at the bar and like beelined it towards me, like, hey dude, you're in Range 15. Like, hey, let me give you a picture. And I just started dating my girlfriend, so I was still in that, like, I really want to impress you period. So I was like, sorry, babe, got to take a picture with this guy right here. He recognized me. Yeah, it's normal. It's normal. Don't worry about it. It's not normal. It's not normal.
How do you feel about people coming up to you? They see you on the street. Do you care?
Hey, if you're Brad Pitt, you're used to it. So you have like, dude, I even hang out, like, when I hang out with Matt, like, Matt gets stopped a lot, right? Right. So like, and he's got a good shtick. He knows how to handle it well. He's really personable. But like me, I'm not like that guy. So like when it does happen, I'm really awkward. Like, oh shit, he recognized. He probably wants me to say something really witty right now. I'm gonna fail him. He's gonna tell all of his friends that Jack's a douche in real life. Oh shit! And then I go into my head, and this guy's like, oh, Jack's a loser. And then I realize that when he walks away, and then I sit there alone afterwards. I'm like, oh, he's gonna think I'm a loser. He's gonna tell all of his friends that Jack guy's a loser, and it's just a disaster every time.
I could imagine it would get weird every now and again.
Yeah, because like it doesn't happen enough to where like I know how to like it. I'm expecting it, but it does happen to the extent where it does happen, but it always catches me off guard.
Right. Because I mean, like I wouldn't imagine like if I saw a celebrity, I go up to him, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it's like, "Oh, I don't really know what else to say to you."
Like, I don't know. So what are you doing? Like, you gonna go poop or like, what are you doing today?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna go. I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna like get an argument in the comment section on Facebook. Like, that's All
right. So, kind of wrapping up the show. What should we expect to see from you in the future? You got any big plans? Anything happen?
So I'm freelancing right now, doing a lot of video content, and the one thing I've been doing recently is I'm at Task and Purpose here. I'm getting to write again, and which I'm really happy about. And, as far as big things, don't expect anything from me, man. Don't. Yep. I've got my 2 IMDb credits, so I'm good. They can put that on my obit. Gotcha.
So what advice do you have for, anybody, who's in the military, got a veteran now, transitioning out of the military that wants to get, into what you're doing, content creation, maybe freelancing on their own.
Into creative stuff?
Into the creative stuff.
Whether you literally want to be a content creator where you're making memes and dumb videos, or you want to be an actor like an Adam Driver type who's a real actor, like he's the real deal, right. Or any type of creative medium, whether you want to be a sculptor, whatever. Just take that veteran or take that military mentality of like I can't quit, like I can't quit because like I just got to stick this through. It's the only way I'm gonna survive, because that's all you have when it comes to anything creative, because nothing is guaranteed with that. For me, I was literally writing for free and failing and sucking at writing for like 5 years before I ever got paid to do it. And then when I got paid to write, I ended up getting to make memes for a living and ended up in a movie, and the rest is history. But like 5 years of sucking and not getting paid for what you love, like you better learn to expect that. Or you can be Matt Best and just come right out of the Army and just blow up.
Just kill it.
However you want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember how many followers he has on Facebook, but I think it's well over 1 million.
Yeah. Well, it's because Matt's handsome.
I mean, he's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is.
And I keep using him as an example. It's kind of creepy. I will say this about Nick, who I worked for 5 years. Like he grinded with Ranger Up for 10 years of owning a company. Like that's running a business. And Vincent Vargas, who's still in the Army and has Vince out of any of the main 5 cast members, like we were talking earlier, like, well, you know, we're not real actors. Well, Vince is a real actor. He is working in real film and television now. Vince has transcended from just being a veteran internet celebrity into real film and television. And I couldn't be happier for the guy. Awesome. And Jared Taylor, out of all the cast members of Range 15, for me personally, when I watch what he's doing, not just in the movie Range 15, but online, like the videos, Jared to me is one of the funniest dudes on earth.
No, I mean those
like as a spectator.
Yeah, no, those guys are killing it out there, and it's awesome. You know, good for them.
Yeah. And Evan Hafer in Range 15, instrumental in Range 15, and then obviously like the head honcho at Black Rifle and killing it on the entrepreneurial side.
That's awesome. Great advice. And I definitely want to thank you for coming on. I greatly appreciate you coming on. I'm glad you told your story and, you know, all the good things that you've done.
Am I as underwhelming as you thought I'd be?
No, you were perfect, man.
Thank you.
I couldn't ask for more.
Thank you.
No, but anytime you want to come on, you got anything big happening and you want to announce, you're more than welcome back anytime. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I do have a question for you.
Okay.
I am in Manhattan right now. I need to get back to Central Jersey, which is going to be about a $120 Uber ride, or I can half drunkenly try to navigate my way through the New York subway system and then onto the New Jersey Transit. I don't even know if they're still running trains, and then somehow try to make my way back through there, which will take 2 hours, opposed to spending $120 on Uber for 1 hour. Where am I? What should I do?
Okay, you should go to Penn Station.
Okay. Oh, you know your way.
I'm in Philly, so we go up to New York a couple times a year.
Okay, so I'm right near Canal Street right now.
Okay.
I go to Penn Station, hop on the NJ Transit from there.
Yep, and go to whatever exit you need to go to.
All right. Because my lady's going to be pissed.
Or just wait a couple hours. I'll drive up there, grab you, and drive back.
I'm not going to put you through that.
But you know, we've waited like 2.5 hours for it.
Can you imagine me sitting on a stoop in Manhattan here at like 2 a.m. and you're just pulling in? I'm like, hey, man, I've been waiting for you.
That would be good times, man.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you check out all our past episodes on YouTube, or you can scroll through the new feed or look at our videos on Facebook. And definitely check out our next episodes. Thank you all for joining us. Jack, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Look forward to seeing everybody next time.
Marhaba.